This is Contemplative at Home, and you are always so very warmly welcome here. I invite you to take a moment to prepare yourself for prayer. So, any settling that you need to do, putting anything in your hands aside, putting your phone onto silent, or maybe even airplane mode. And then I invite you to take a moment to stretch if you need to. Just check in with any tension you might be squeezing up anywhere in your body and let it go. So let your feet come to rest flat on the floor, your back away from the back of the chair. And as you begin to find that connection, that easing and release in the physical body, welcoming a sense of stilling and easing in the thoughts, the emotion, the interior energy. So as everything begins to still, I do invite you to notice how you are, what's around for you at the moment. If there's a particular pain or discomfort, again, in the mind or the body. Where your energy is at today. The Lord welcomes you just as you are, and in fact, you can't really meet the Lord unless you come as you really are. So I invite you to be as honest and open with your own good self as you can. So here we are, Lord, just as we are. All devoted to you, the prayer says, but let's say we are as devoted to you as our limited selves will allow us to be in this moment. But we do have a great desire to be transformed according to the goodness and the wisdom of your own heart. So here we are. I want to invite you now to bring your awareness to your breath. To just let your attention gently land on the sensations of expansion and contraction. The sensations of filling and releasing. I wonder if you can allow the awareness of breath to help you imagine some kind of spaciousness within you, in your inner or deeper self. And now, in whatever way you connect to that, I wonder if again you can allow the breath to help you somehow see or imagine that in this spacious inner self, the Lord is present. Christ is here, dwelling within. Perhaps it's easier for you to imagine the face of God gazing at you with generosity and kindness. We take about 6 rounds of breath here to rest in the Lord's loving presence. And now as you listen to these words, some from the book of Job, some from the book of Ephesians, I invite you to rest in this inner, expansive place within. And I invite you to be open, to be curious about whether you can allow your inner self to expand in some way as you receive these words, whatever that means to you. I also invite you to listen out for one word or phrase or image or moment that particularly catches your attention. Job. Can you find out the deep things of God? Can you find out the limit of the Almighty? It is higher than heaven. What can you do? It is deeper than Sheol. What can you know? Its measure is longer than the earth and broader than the sea. Can you find out the deep things of God? From Ephesians. I pray that Christ may inhabit your heart through faith. And I pray that you, being rooted and grounded in agape, in love, may be empowered to grasp the breadth and length, the height and depth, and that you may have knowledge of the love of Christ, the love which surpasses knowledge, that you might be filled, fully pervaded with the fullness, the plenitude of God. So I invite you to notice what you heard. And we'll listen to this text again Again, I invite you to allow this text to open you, to expand you. And I invite you to pay particular attention to what it is that you hear. Can you find out the deep things of God? Can you find out the limit of the Almighty? It is higher than heaven. What can you do? It is deeper than Sheol. What can you know? Its measure is longer than the earth and broader than the sea. And I pray that Christ may inhabit, make a dwelling place in your heart. I pray that you, being rooted and grounded in agape love, will be empowered to grasp the height, the depth, the length, and the breadth and to have knowledge of the love of Christ, the love that surpasses knowledge. That you might be filled, fully pervaded with the fullness, the plenitude of God. Again, I invite you to notice what you heard, to rest in one word or one sensation or one image that these texts are giving you. And we will listen one more time. Can you find out the deep things of God? Can you find the limit of the Almighty? It is higher than heaven. What can you do? It is deeper than Sheol. What can you know? Its measure is longer than the earth and broader than the sea. And I pray that Christ might inhabit, take up dwelling in your heart. I pray that you, rooted and grounded in this agape love, will be empowered to grasp the height, the depth, the length, the breadth, to know the love of Christ, the love of Christ that is unknowable, that you might be filled fully pervaded with this fullness, this plenitude of God. We'll share a minute of silence here now, resting together in the unknowable plenitude of God. I invite you to come back to your breath, to gently allow one thing to rise to your consciousness that you want to hold on to from this meditation. How do you see yourself taking this into your day? And so, my love, in every moment that this day will hold for you, may you be empowered to grasp the height and depth, the length and breadth of this love that is beyond knowing. May you lose yourself in it. May it lose itself in you. All blessings. Thanks again, dear ones, for choosing to trust me with your sacred space. I am so honored to be here alongside of you. We pray alone in our own rooms and houses, and yet we share these deepest things together. And if you wish to come a bit closer to some of the community that gathers around this work and these spaces, please come on over to contemplativeathome.com, where you can find out more about my newsletter and my retreats and how to support this work if you'd like to help me support my family. Thank you so much. Every blessing.